way out there.
Well, you might start with the beaches. The wave-swept sands of Oceanside and Carlsbad will bring in millions of visitors each year. But then again, maybe the deserts of Borrego Springs and Ocotillo Wells are more of your thing, with their eye-popping colors and adrenaline-filled activities. Or perhaps a Friday night, cruising Grand in Escondido, or prowling around the San Diego Safari Park. About grabbing a beer at one of the many breweries in Vista, or catching a show at the Moonlight Amphitheater. Or how about a hike up Double Peak, or try your luck catching a fish at Discovery Lake in San Marcos? How about getting on the back of a horse through the rolling hills of Bonzel? Or having the best avocados in the world in Fallbrook? A trip out to Bates Nut Farm in Valley Center is always a blast. Or enjoy strawberries out in Rainbow. Stop by and see the world-famous Yeti in Ranchita, paddle out around Lake Henshaw, drink some wine in Warner Springs, or look at the planets at the Palomar Mountain Observatory. And we must not forget our incredible Native American communities who mean so much to the history of San Diego County. The Paula Reservations, Palmer Reservations, La Jolla Reservation, Rincon Reservation, Los Coyotes Reservation, Santa Squall Reservation, Santa Isabel Reservation, and Mesa Grande Reservation. All of wonderful neighbors and community members in North County. And last but certainly not least, our brave men and women who put their life on the line every day. Brady Pemberton, we cannot thank you enough for keeping us free. All this and so much more makes up the over 2,000 square miles of North County. And whether you're a cougar, a pirate, a longhorn, or something else, North County is home. And we love it here. We wouldn't want to be anywhere else. All right, hail for North County!
Welcome to the state of North County. I'm Miles Simmel, Communications Director for Supervisor Desmond. It's an honor to be here. It's an absolute pleasure. Look at standing room only. Look at that. How about that? Gosh, they really like you, Joe. I get them. Guys, it's so good to have so many people here today. And you know, if you've been here, by the way, I should take this. Look, these fit before COVID. I want you guys to know that. Okay? These fit. All right. I put these on today. It's been a little while, but. If you have been to political events before and you're like, is this just another one where, a politician comes over here? I'm telling you, this is going to be, you're in for a special treat today. We've got special guests, we've got people coming from all across the county, and we're going to honor North County here today. And if that doesn't get you going, if you're like, that's whatever, here's the thing. Normally when they have someone MC an event like this, it's a professional. Like they come in, it's like a TV person, it's like, hey, welcome to the state of North County. It's something like that. It's me today, and so if I screw up, I get fired, okay? So if someone else does it, it's like, they weren't very good, but they go on. If I say the wrong word, I'm booted. So you can at least have that excitement that maybe I say something wrong here today, okay? Don't laugh. All right, let's get this underway. Everybody has a program, right? Can I see the programs? Can we see the programs? There's an awesome story about this program here, okay? Joseph Kelly was born and raised here in North County. Joseph here? Joseph, great to see you. All right, born and raised in North County, was diagnosed with ADHD and autism at the age of 4. Never let that define him. Never, ever let that define him, okay? He graduated high school in 2017, vocational school in 2018, spent 2019 in the Options for All, a program for people with autism who work and want to work in the film industry. And now he works for Beacons of Hope, a nonprofit here in North County, or he is part of Beacons of Hope, and also works for Bitch and Sauce right here in North County as well. And so put this together, so big round of applause for Joseph. Stand up, Joseph. Also with Beacons, we've got Tyler Hershey, Beacons Director, Courtney Smith, Lead Instructor, and Joseph Keller, like we said, created this awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here today. This is fantastic. Moving along as well, this is special for me. I was thinking about this morning, and I'm like, I'm not a joke guy. I don't do this. But one of the things I turned 30 3 weeks ago, and I've spent every day, well, not every day, but but I've spent my whole life here in North County, and so when I was thinking about, well, what are you going to talk about? What are you going to say? My dad was Larry Himmel, TV reporter, or is Larry Himmel, and one of the, thank you. And this is one of the hardest things we've had in North County, the fires in 2007. And I'll always remember him, and one of the things that people always come up and talk about is this, but the reason I wanted to show this image is not to make it sad, not to make it emotional, but to talk about how we come together, right? North County came together during that time. And the people in this room make North County such a special place, and you're going to hear about that. You're going to hear from so many wonderful people here today, but I just want you to know this is an absolute honor for me, being a North County resident for my whole life, and so I'm very honored to be up here. And with that, let's get it going, all right? Let's get it going here. I want to introduce the first person, Shelly Pinomaki. Shelly is the chaplain with the Sheriff's Department, is an outreach coordinator with the Respect Project developed in 2014 by deputies in the San Marcos Sheriff's Station. The Respect Project is a nationally recognized character building and mentoring program designed for middle school and high school youth. I've seen it in action. Shelly, take it away.
I'll be offering a prayer this morning. To our Creator, thank you for the men and women who serve our county in leadership roles and for their families. Please provide for our leaders and remind them each day of why they decided to dedicate their lives to public service and to use that commitment to encourage them. We also pray specifically for the wives, husbands, and children of our leaders. We ask that we draw near to them and give them the wisdom on how to best support one another. We are also grateful for the staff of our leaders, for they have such an important job keeping the offices running as they should. Thank you for the way that you have gifted them to support so well. Wrap your arms around these men and women to show them love, grace, strength, and encouragement. Provide them with the knowledge needed to approach each situation in the best way possible, and help them to find a balance between work and life so that they can be sustained. We are so grateful and thankful to be living in a democracy where many play a part in making sure that the needs and desires of our nation's citizens, our county citizens, are heard and met. As our leaders work together to find solutions to difficult problems, we ask that you guide them to speak respectfully and to have humility with one another. Help them to show a good love into that they interact with one another and they advocate for the constituents and for their others in the county. Amen.
Thank you, Shelly. Round of applause for Shelly. She's with the Respect program, which is just a phenomenal program up in San Marcos and across our county. So thank you so much, Shelly. Now, the presentation of the colors and the Pledge of Allegiance. First, the presentation of the colors by the American Legion of San Diego, post number 6, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Oceanside's own Mayor, Esther Sanchez. If you can rise.
Forward, please, and hold.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Esther. Remain standing here. Now singing our national anthem is the Vista Boys and Girls Club Youth of the Year, Grace Taylor.
Oh, say, Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red flare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Color guard, hold, colors. Color guard, forward, halt.
First of all, big round of applause for the American Legion of San Diego. Like I said, that's post number 6. And Grace, where are you? Are you still back there? Are you with your family? Grace. Oh my gosh. Oh, incredible. Grace Taylor, everybody. All right. My favorite part. It's to name every elected official here. All right. I'm excited. No, all right, here's what we're going to do, because we talked about this in the office yesterday for like 3 hours. We spent the most of our time. How are we going to applaud everyone and not applaud everyone? And we want to make sure everybody gets recognized. We certainly do. So we've lumped them. We've grouped them, okay, because we do have a lot of special people here today. We're going to start with our elected officials, okay? So I'm going to name it, but you got to wait to applaud at the end, okay? I know these politicians, they love all the clapping. Wait till the end, okay? Here we go. Okay, we've got our assessor, Ernie Joidenberg. Ernie, good to see you. We've got our undersheriff, Kelly Martinez. We've got the mayor of Oceanside, like you saw before, Esther Sanchez. Mayor of Vista. Judy Redder. Oh, Judy Redder, there you are. Also, Deputy Mayor of Oceanside, Ryan Kahn. Where are you? I've seen you around. Also, we've got Deputy Mayor of San Marcos, Sharon Jenkins. We've got the Mayor of San Marcos, Rebecca Jones. We've got council member from City of San Marcos, Maria Nunez. We've got Ed Musgrove, council member from San Marcos. We've got Mike Marasco, City of Escondido City Council. Joe Green, always looking fly down there, from the City of Vista, council member. And Corey Jensen from Oceanside right here, council member as well. Also with us, former Assembly member Martin Garrick and former County Supervisor Kristen Gaspar. Now give everybody a round of applause. We've also got some representatives here from Senator Pat Bates' office and also Assembly Member Marie Waldron's office, as Rourke earlier. Also our DA wishes she could be here, and she was supposed to be here, but she has a funeral, so our thoughts are with her, and it was a longtime friend, I believe, a longtime employee, in fact. So we are thinking of Summer here today. Also, now we'll move along. From our tribal community, we have Lori Gonzalez, council member of Rincon. We've got John Constantino, council member from Rincon. Joe Linton, council member from Rincon, and Melody Arviso, committee member from the San Squall tribe. So thank you all for being here. From our school, water, and college boards, we've got, listen, there's only like 10 more pages, all right? Just bear with me, okay? I'm just teasing. All right, we've got Larissa Anderson, president of the Bonsall Unified. Ray Pearson, I know was supposed to be here, I think something came up, but from the Carlsbad Unified School District. Jim Pinnock from the Valicitos, Mike Sanella, Valicitos as well, and Mark Evilsizer from the Palomar College board member as well. So thank you all for being here. From our we've got 2 college presidents here as well. We've got Dr. Ellen Neufeld from the Cal State San Marcos, University of San Marcos, and Dr. Sonny Cook, president of Mira Costa. Are you in the building? Are you in the building? Let's clap for me. All right, also we have, and we can't go through it all because we have a lot here today, but we have, if you're on a board or a commission or anything here volunteering with the county, can you stand up? Can you stand up if you're on a board or commission? Don't be shy. Come on, stand up. No, this is That's so shy. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for serving and really making this county run. Okay, moving along. Oh, yes. Also, we're proud to have, and be on your best behavior, deputy sheriff's captains across the county and our district. If you're here, will you please stand up? And don't be shy, deputy sheriff's captains. Oh, there they are. And even though we're under, I checked with someone, we're under capacity. We have 3 of our fire chiefs here today. So we've got Oceanside Fire Chief Rick Robinson, we've got North County Fire Chief Keith McReynolds, and Valley Center Chief Joe Napier, and also we've got the Oceanside Police Chief Fred Armato. So thank you guys. We've got Cal Fire, we've got everybody here as well. We've got the Deputy Sheriff's Association President David Leonardi, we've got the District Attorney Investigators Association Brian Majewski, and we've got our Probations Officer Association. We've got Shannon Edison, Jose Gutierrez, and representing the DA's office, and the thing I was regretting the most was saying this person's last name. So Yoli. Is Yoli here? Don't tell her we didn't even say her last name. All right, here we go. Thank you all for being here, though, as well. Let's put a round of applause. Also, I know you guys are here, so please, if you can stand up, we want to put a round of applause together for all the people, all our chambers of commerce and our EDC. If you represent one of those, if you're the head, if you can please stand up as well. And finally, we'd like to recognize our county staff, and I know we have a few of them here today as well, whose hard work, dedication keeps this county running. And with us today, and I'm going to rattle off, I have seen Michael Vu, Assistant CAO, Sarah Gassi, Deputy CAO, we've got Miguel Acosta, Brian Albright, Jennifer Bradford Coons, Rosa Garcian, Nick Mascione, Edith Sanchez Cruz, Jordan Marks, and Dr. Luke Bergman. I know some are here, some aren't, but thank you guys, all county staff. And if you're a county employee, or if I forgot you, and you're an elected official, and you're like, you forgot me, can you please stand up? I'm just teasing. I apologize if we missed you. All right, you're like, get off the stage, get on with it already. But we've got one, I was really excited to introduce this next gentleman. And it's not Jim, no, I'm just teasing. All right, here we go. We got a legend, because we're here in Oceanside, so we're like, who can we think of when it comes to Oceanside? Who can we think of somebody to really get Oceanside going? Well, this is the guy. Led Oceanside High School, the Pirates, the football team, as a 26-year head coach, 22 straight playoffs going to the playoffs, 13 CIF championships. In 2015, inducted into the California Coaches Association Hall of Fame, and most importantly, positively impacted the lives of so many kids here in Oceanside, an Oceanside legend, Coach John Carroll.
Some of that was true. So, first of all, he went through so many different names of important people within our community. I'm wondering if there's anybody in here who's not important. So if you didn't call your name out, could you please stand a minute just to be a normal person? That's pretty cool. And you know, I gotta talk about Grace for a second. Grace, first of all, that was incredible. What an incredible singing of the national anthem. I see Grace regularly at church in the morning as we go to Mass in the early morning, and I frequently see Grace. And what a special person, what a special young lady. And our community is really blessed to have you. Secondly, I don't know about you guys, but I feel the most safe I've ever felt with all the firefighters and the police and sheriffs, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. So, and then the thing that was amazing was when we looked at the all of North County. Is there nothing you can't do in North County? Is there anybody have anything from the beaches to the hills to the lakes to the agriculture to the mountains? It's just amazing. What an incredible place to live. And it's a short drive to go be in a different part of the world, in essence. I remember taking bus trips throughout all of North County with my football teams, and we're everywhere, and we're seeing everything. And the most incredible, of course, was taking the hill up to Ramona, and after a few kids got car sick, it was like we were out in the sticks, out in Texas or somewhere like that, or Arizona. It's amazing how many different parts of North County there are. And I can say for myself, I love being a resident of North County because of that. And I'm sure that you do too. And I take full advantage of the opportunities that I have to go experience all of that because it's fun, especially like the craft beer. That's very enjoyable. So first of all, I gotta say thank you to Supervisor Dedman and Miles for the opportunity to introduce our supervisor here today. I'm obviously honored and privileged to be able to do this, and to just say flat out, I love North County, and I love my city. I love Oceanside. Esther, thank you for being here and representing today. We got a chance to catch up before we got started. In 1987, I'm a young, I don't know how old I was 29 years old, 28 years old, and I was living in Fullerton, and I had heard from the legendary Herb Meyer. How many of you guys know Herb Meyer? I had heard from him at a coaches conference, and he says, you gotta come down to North County. You gotta leave the non-ending streets of Orange County, and you gotta come down, and we did. And we came down in 1987, and it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me personally, and to my wife, and to our 3 sons. We got a chance to experience incredible cultural and ethnic diversity that made it a joy to go to work every day and to see new people and to see new faces and to fit in. And for all of us, regardless of our ethnicity or our culture, to embrace each other, to get along, to be that perfect example of what it should be all about, to be family. I felt that at Oceanside High School. I felt that in the city of Oceanside. And I thank all of those people that created that. So over that 26 years of being the football coach and 31 years of teaching there, I had the chance to teach multiple, I was thinking about this, multiple thousands of kids, of teenagers, multiple thousands over 31 years. And all you can do when you have that, and this is the truth for all of us, every interaction that you have, every contact that you have with a person leaves them walking away thinking something about you. And how easy it is to say something that you don't mean to, but hurts. And we have to be intentional in how we go about meeting people and make it about relationships and see the good. I did that through a demand for excellence. That demand for excellence started with expectations, high expectations, and then accountability, and then second chances when needed. And that's how you establish that excellence, and that's how you establish those relationships. That to this day, thank God I live in my community, I can walk into a store and someone will say, hey coach, remember me? Now I remember, I saw him as a teenager. And now it's some guy with a long beard and, do you remember me? I'm like, oh, here's what I've learned. The face is really familiar. Help me with the name. And then I act like I remember. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But it works terrifically. And I always say, I hope it was a good experience. I hope that our relationship was a good experience. Now, obviously, if they came up to me, it was a good experience. Those that hated my guts aren't going to come up to me. So I love Oceanside. My wife's a teacher at Oceanside. She's in her last year, and she's going to retire. And she's a teacher at McCall Elementary. And we live exactly 0.42 miles from school. And she drives every day anyway. But all of my kids, I had 3 sons. All 3 of my kids went through Oceanside Unified School District. They went through kindergarten through grade 5 with my wife, overseeing them. They went through middle school on their own, where we just had to, okay, let's hold our breath and stay involved as parents. And then for 12, they were 4 years apart. So for 12 consecutive years, I drove them to school every day. One would start, one would graduate, and the next one would start, 12 consecutive years. I had it wired. I knew every single thing that was going on in their lives until they were in their 20s and they started telling me about all the stuff they did. And I'm like, how in the heck did I not know that? And that's a wonderful thing because kids need their own independence and freedom. And now I have the opportunity to introduce somebody that I only met a few years ago, but I have come, Aretha Franklin sings the song R-E-S-P-E-C-T. And that's what I feel about Supervisor Desmond. Incredible respect, and I gained that respect during the beginning of the pandemic. I saw the damage being done to kids by locking them down from school and by locking them down from activities and from locking them down in sports, and what it was doing and what it was going to do to their mental health as well as their learning opportunities. Supervisor Desmond saw it too, and I think he might have been the only one. And he came out and participated in a activity and meetings to try and do everything in his power to get those kids back engaged in activities in school that they needed. Incredible respect for you for that day on. And now, of course, if you look at the statistics just coming out that common sense said was true back then, We see all the damage done to the learning loss of kids and to their mental health and to their increased risk of suicide. He saw it early. He had the guts and the courage to stand up and say it. And fortunately, I got to say it with you. And I appreciated that opportunity. That commands respect. And then when I look, I didn't know any of this until I got an email, but I look at your resume, I understand where it comes from. A Navy veteran and SDSU grad. All right, I love the Navy veteran, but okay, SDSU. No, I'm kidding. I love SDSU. Go Aztecs. A successful business owner. You gotta have a skill set for that. A retired airline pilot. Hey, I'm a pirate, man. I'm a pirate. This kind of slips right out. A retired Navy pilot working and flying for Delta for 33 years and flying all around the world. After being a city council member, he was the former mayor of San Marcos for 12 years, and get this, while he was still an airline captain. And then elected to the County Board of Supervisors in 2018 and running through the present. Pretty impressive resume. Is there anything you can't do? We brought your wife up, she'd probably tell us if you don't know. Let's welcome our county supervisor, Jim Neston.
Speech yet. So, thank you very much. I mean, it's indeed an honor, and I have to follow Miles and Coach Carroll here. That hopefully I don't bring the room down. But I really appreciate everybody being here today. And how does that mean? Hopefully not. Coach, here we go. Okay.
I just want to.
Say thank you for being here. Okay, can you hear me? Yeah, because I can't hear me. But anyway, isn't this a beautiful facility in Oceanside? Wonderful grounds and everything else. Thank you, Oceanside. You know, we tried to have this the state of North County a couple of years ago. COVID got in the way once. Then it got in the way again. And this is now, you know, it's a great opportunity to look out and see everybody and just see North County. North County is here in the house. So give yourselves a hand for getting together, getting back together, being here. I love the energy in this room. I love seeing all the uniformed officers, our law enforcement, and firefighters, and everybody here today that makes North County great. I love the energy in the room, and I really love about the future and what's in store for us and all the possibilities that we have here. So it's really meaningful to have each and every one of you here today in the room and being a part of all the possibilities we have in North County. Still hearing the feedback. Anyway, North County to me is not just the district lines. We just had new lines that were drawn. Those district lines are more about the election and election lines. And in my mind and in my staff's mind, North County is all of North County. We work for all of you, we work all the time with you, for you, and we don't really draw those lines in our mind. But I'm very proud of the work that we've all done, and very proud, especially with Coach Carroll and Miles and all the people that are here today, to be representing you. I mean, it's an honor. It's truly an honor to be your representative. But I can't go any further with this noise.
Live TV. Here we go. All right, so I keep Miles or fire? Okay, thumbs up, I see. Oh, so one down.
All right. You take the mic off. Which one?
The one on that side.
The one on this side. Okay.
I hope that's the one.
They tape it.
We'll find out.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, I'm going to start all over. No. Before I go any further, I have to introduce my beautiful wife, Carrie Desmond. So county supervisor has been a full-time job and then some. We have many late-night board meetings. We miss dinners, family events. We can't do a job like this without the support of our partner. And since 1992, Carrie and I, we've lived in North County. We raised two wonderful adult children now, both of whom both live and work in North County. We've been married for 37 years. And without you, dear, I couldn't do any of this, so thank you for being by my side. Okay. Also, I want to introduce my staff. Now, you've all met Miles. He's the guy, if you saw my videos during COVID and things like that, applause, all right. I want, my staff has done a wonderful, raise your hand. My staff members that are here today. They're the ones that answer the phones. And yes, we do answer the phones, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. We answer the phones. We return emails. They do things, people will come up to me and they'll say, oh, hey, thank you very much for that thing you did for us. I was like, well, I have no clue what you're talking about. But my staff takes care of things. They get things done. They've got the expertise. They got the knowledge. I don't know it all. They do. And I'm really proud to have each and every one of them. So give applause to my staff. As you saw in the opening video, and also with Coach Carol, that of North County, of all the wonderful things that we have, and all the opportunities and potential that we have, and I'll kind of name some more of those things here. But we have major freeways and we have rail transportation. Via North County Transit, you can go downtown from Oceanside. You can take the coaster all the way downtown, or you can take the 78, the Sprinter across the 78. So we've got good transportation. We need better. We got good stuff here. But for the Pacific Ocean, with Carlsbad and Oceanside, we've got the beautiful beaches, we've got high tech, we've got biotech, we've got very high income jobs here in North County. And Oceanside, with its proximity to Camp Pendleton, has always had a very deep history in support of our veterans. Could I ask all of our veterans in the room to please rise? We're going with the flow. All right. But thank you to all our veterans, and thanks for your service and your time and effort. We really appreciate that. Also, moving to Vista, it has its chocolate, Highlander, strawberry festivals, has a thriving new downtown. Mayor Ritter is here today. From San Marcos, the educational hub of North County, has a great parks and trail system. Mayor Jones, I didn't see you. Where are you, Mayor Jones? There you are. And then from Escondido, with the Center of the Arts, workforce housing, industry, cruising grand. Fallbrook, great tourist destination with agriculture, including avocados and wineries and a great community spirit. Valley Center, very proud community with their Western days, and alongside with Palma Valley, where nurseries and agriculture thrive. We have Ranchita, Bonsall, Rainbow, Deleuze, Palomar Mountain, Warner Springs, Sunshine Summit, all beautiful communities in North County with pastoral views and wonderful rural lifestyles. To the Super Bloom all the way out at the ends of Borrego Desert, and the golf courses and the lifestyles out of Borrego Springs. But most importantly, as we mentioned earlier, amongst all of our unincorporated communities in North County are the original caretakers, indigenous caretakers of this great land. Our tribal friends, our partners, our neighbors, and the sovereign nations of our tribal brothers and sisters. Let's give them a hand. And that's really cool. We got sovereign nations amongst us in North County. And I think we have the most, I think throughout all of North County, there's like 18 tribal nations, the most of any other county in the nation. And the most of them in our district in North County. I'm very proud to work with our fellow brothers and sisters and our nations and our equals in North County. So with all that geography, and it's not just in San Marcos, but we have one of the strongest webs of schools and educational opportunities in the county. We have the landmark Cal State San Marcos with President Newfield here today. Maricosta College, I understand Sonny couldn't make it. But we also have Palomar College with Dr. Rivera Lacey. And one little thing I'll note here just briefly, if you notice the leaders that I'm mentioning off, the mayors and all the college educators, they're all women. So I think, is that what makes North County great? All right, well, you're stuck with me for a little bit. But, you know, it's fantastic, and the education is big, it's key, and we in North County have that. And I think one of the great things about North County is most of the kids that go to the schools in North County stay in North County. And we need them to stay here, because unfortunately I'm getting off script, but unfortunately we're not providing enough housing and things like that, but education is key. And when I was mayor of San Marcos, I tried to link education with business and government. Mostly keep government out of the way, but we wanted to make sure, and in North County, we thrive because of that. But we also have many trade schools, we have charter schools, so we have very good school districts. I know Coach Denny Snyder's in the room, he's from Escondido Charter School, he's here today. In North County, we have high-tech industries, right around the corner, Genentech. We have Viasat, Hunter Industries, and Thermo Fisher. We have a multi-billion-dollar agricultural business. Agriculture is huge, producing food, plants, flowers, and wines. And the Farm Bureau, I want to give them a shout out. We work closely with the Farm Bureau in making sure that our agriculture industry isn't threatened, that they get to grow and they provide the food and the plants and the things that we need. We also have the Hops Highway, I've heard it called. The Hops Highway, the 78, I don't know, it's usually a parking lot, but it's the Hops Highway. We have super breweries. If you can't get a beer in North County, you ain't looking in the right places. That's right. That's right. We have a strong sports and leisure industry. We have an ever-expanding parks and trail system, and one of which that I'm working on is the county park along the San Luis Rey River that's going to be bringing trails and parks and amenities to the unincorporated area. Yay! There it is. Is everybody all right? You like that applause? He's the head of our parks. No. Okay. We also have top medical facilities. With Palomar Health, Tri-City Medical Center, Neighborhood Health Care, Vista Community Clinic, True Care, Kaiser, and Scripps, all in North County campuses. We have 4 airports in North County. I've been to every one of them, I think. And we get to live where people want a vacation. And how cool is that? We have top surfing competitions, a surf museum. We have amazing restaurants, a safari park, amusement parks, Legoland, and many, many top-rated hotels and restaurants here in North County. So we've got so much potential. We have so much promise, and we have so many resources. So if I was in your shoes and I was sitting out there, I'd be looking at me and saying, okay, we got a lot of great things out there. We got a lot of potential. So Desmond, don't mess it up. Let's keep it good. Let's keep it strong. Don't mess it up with too much government. Don't mess it up with too high taxes and too much regulation. Yeah. Thank you. But also, if I was in the audience, I'd be looking up here and saying, okay, I'd be looking at me saying, well, give us the tools. Give us the tools and the opportunity to live in balance with nature and the environment. Give us housing for our kids. Give us infrastructure and a transportation system that works. Provide a hand up to those underserved and that are in our communities. Keep us safe. Have our sheriffs and police. Keep us safe. Let us raise our families. Let us make a living. Let us be productive. Allow fresh new ideas. Keep adding parks and trails. And then get out of the way. That's sort of my political philosophy, and those are the types of things I want to deliver, and if I were sitting out there, what I would be thinking as well. So it's truly an honor to be your representative of North County and to try to do good things and link you up to the resources and services that we have at the county and the state, and bring those dollars to here to you. But, okay, even with all the resources and potential that we have, there's still work to be done. The first one that's on top of, that we hear about a lot in North County and throughout all of San Diego County is homelessness. We have a homelessness problem in North County. And I think the way it's been handled has been terrible. I think we as a society should be ashamed of how we are treating our homeless and how we are not handling it. And mostly due to Supreme Court rulings and state laws, we cannot force a homeless person into treatment or programs if they refuse help. We can only move a person if they're off public property, if we have housing or an actual place or a hotel to put them. Makes sense? We can't force behavioral health treatment or drug addiction remedies if the recipient isn't willing. So I think due to some of these overreaching laws, we've ended up with a much less inhumane result of leaving people with behavioral health issues, homeless on our streets and in our parks, on our sidewalks, to deal and to cope with their life situation with drugs and alcohol. With our mentally ill, it's an abhorrent lifestyle, how we treat them. And I'm not blaming anybody, I'm blaming ourselves as a society. We allow people to go hungry, be angry, and then eventually, unfortunately, they commit a crime. And right now, our jails are the biggest, actually the #1 provider of mental health services in the county. And that is not the place to be if you're in a mental health crisis. Absolutely not. So I think we as a society can do better. We absolutely should do better. I'm sorry to suck the wind out of the room and make it be the downer, but this is a problem, an issue we all face, and we got to deal with it. And unfortunately, we won't, though, until laws and legislators, I think, are changed in Sacramento. But believe it or not, there has been a lot of work that has been done. There has been a lot that has been done in San Diego County, particularly from county staff, particularly from my office. We've pushed hard on the issues in North County homelessness. And I want to thank Nick Mascione, our head of County Health and Human Services. Nick, where are you? You're right here. There you are, Nick Mascione. And Dr. Luke Bergman, I don't think he's here today, but despite all odds, they have worked tirelessly on the homeless issue throughout San Diego County and here in North County. We have been able to help those who want help. We've been able to help. There are thousands of success stories out there, thousands of them, and untold stories. But there's also just as many, unfortunately, homeless encampments and failures, I think, of society to those that are mentally ill or are homeless. And so my office, we said, okay, what can we do? All right, if we can't get people into programs or get them into help, or we can't do that, what can we do? And at the time, and even still to this day, we had a shortage of psychiatric beds and mental health services in North County. So we focused. We said, okay, what can we do? So we're going to focus, and we did. We focused on mental health. How can we get mental health services? And homeless prevention. How can we keep the next group of people from being homeless? How can we do that? And together, we did that. We put together, I'm going to tell you some of the things that we've done in North County to try to help those that are mentally ill and keep them from being homeless in the future. So together, along with the North County mayors all got together, and we put forward at the county a pilot program. It started in Oceanside, in North County, to provide county social workers to assist local city and community teams that would do the homeless outreach. So our social workers would go out with the city workers, and they would provide the range of programs and the range of services that the county had and offer that to the homeless and to the different communities in the region. And now that is a countywide program where we've got social service people going out to every community in the county. But we also focused on mental health and crisis stabilization units. And I think we have a video. Hopefully that's working. Is the video working? For the mental health.
After a few last-minute touches, the new Oceanside Crisis Stabilization Unit is ready to open its doors.
Today, in North County, we have 3 of these along the 70th corridor, and hopefully get some more healing and people out of crisis and into help sooner rather than later.
At first glance, it's clear to see that this beautiful mental health and substance use facility is unlike any other in the county.
Crisis stabilization units are designed to be good experiences, memorably good experiences for the people who are engaged with them. These are absolutely critical components of the continuum of care for behavioral health that we are in the process of building out.
CSUs provide mental and behavioral health services on a walk-in basis and are a safe alternative to emergency rooms and jails.
We are providing the best clinical service and treatment, as well as a place that is dignified. That is a place where you could send your mom or my mom and feel comfortable and at ease and hopeful.
end? Okay. Well, crisis stabilization unit is basically an ER for those in mental health crisis. We didn't have ERs for people with mental health crisis. If you know, and I remember families would ask me, even when I was mayor, they'd say, "Where do I go? I got a son who's schizophrenic, or I got somebody that needs help," and the ER is not the place to take them in a hospital. So what we did is we started up these crisis stabilization units in North County. We started with well, here, first of all, just a little bit more about them. Anybody can take someone to a crisis stabilization unit. They're open 24 hours a day. Family members can take someone to a crisis stabilization unit. Police can take people to a crisis stabilization unit. Doctors can refer people to these crisis stabilization units. They're open 24 hours a day. And they accept walk-ins. So it's a safe place for people with mental crisis, and hopefully they don't become homeless. But these things didn't come easy. It was much easier when I was an airline pilot. In the cockpit, there was a button for everything. If you ever looked in a cockpit, there's thousands of buttons up there, and hopefully the pilot knew what they all were. But there's no homeless button in my office here at the county supervisor. But the process started about 3 years ago with the crisis stabilization units. With the help of then Supervisor Gaspar. I heard she was in the room. Is she here? No? Okay, she's probably working. Okay, Supervisor Gaspar, we worked with Power Health, Diane Hansen and Escondido. And we provided funds to enhance their current crisis stabilization unit there in Escondido. And then we worked with District Attorney Summer Steffen, with the Sheriff's Department, and the Vista City Council, to open a community-based crisis stabilization unit last fall in Vista. And 2 days ago, the little video there, here in Oceanside, we did a ribbon cutting for an additional crisis stabilization unit. So I'm truly grateful to all the mayors and all the city council members for having the trust that these facilities would be an enhancement to the region and not just a problem for their communities. So there's 5 crisis stabilization units in the county. 3 of them are in North County, and we pushed, and Mashion helped us, and we really pushed, and we got those resources in North County quick. Thank you. And we also partnered, we partnered with Tri-City Hospital. And now in 2023, in a new building built by the county, we're going to be building a building with housing 16 mental health psychiatric beds in North County on the Tri-City campus. $20 million for this building going in. I heard an applause. Yes, that's good. So this next one's obvious, but it's not easy. When it comes to homelessness, we need more housing. And that isn't easy to come by. But with the county resources over the last 3 years, when working with affordable housing developers, we have created more than 500 affordable housing units in the last 3 years here in North County. So we're attacking this problem from many sides. We also are focusing on seniors. I'm a senior. Seniors, with an affordable housing project, because seniors unfortunately are kind of our next unfortunate wave of homeless. I just heard from a group out on the lawn, a fake lawn out here, out on the lawn, about their HOA raising the fees on in a housing facility here in North County, and how they're not going to be able to afford to live there any longer. So our seniors are being forced out, potentially to be our next homeless group, because of fixed incomes and they can't afford the rising costs and things like that. So we're looking at putting in affordable housing, senior affordable housing, right across the street from the old hospital in Escondido. And we've worked with the city council members there, and they've been agreeable, and we're hoping to get that going. And another North County Helping Center that I'm excited to partner with is with Summer Steffen, our district attorney, is a family justice center in San Marcos. And basically it's called One Safe Place. And this is a place to serve victims, including children, suffering from domestic violence. It's a place, it's one roof, one location where you can get all the services. So unfortunately, if it's a mom and a couple of kids and they can't stay in the house and they gotta leave, they don't have any place to go, you used to have to go to the sheriff, you used to have to go to the police, and you have to go get a restraining order, then you had to go get a physical, then you had to find a place to live, you had to find food, you had to get all these resources. All of those resources are going to be under one roof, coming very soon, right along the 78 corridor here in San Marcos. So know that a lot's being done. We're working, around the peripheries, trying to get people off the streets, trying to get people into help, not just off the street, but we're trying to help people and get them the help that they need. And we're doing it through mental health. We're doing it through housing. We're doing it through many avenues. We haven't quite fixed it yet completely, but we're working on it. We got a great team of people with our sheriffs and our county staff. Everybody working hard on this. So know we're working at it, and we're still pushing that boulder up the mountain. But we're not giving up it yet at this point in time. But I do want to mention, it's not just county, the government, thankfully, trying to fix all of this. We're working with many different entities throughout the county, or North County, I'm not going to be able to mention them all. But Interfaith Community Services, Solutions for Change, North County Lifeline, Operation Hope, North County Health Project, Terry, Inc., Casa de Amparo, Exodus, Mental Health Systems. All of these entities are working on the sidelines. We're working with some government help and with dollars, but these are volunteers. These are the angels in our community that are also working on these issues and providing services. So I wanted to recognize them. A lot has been done, and there's a lot more to be done. But we're going to keep working. I want you to know that, and homelessness is front of everybody's mind. You can't go to the grocery store without encountering someone that's homeless, and we can do better. So North County, we are doing better, and we're going to fix it someday. On law enforcement, I want everybody in North County to know that we support, and I support our law enforcement, and I will never vote to defund the police. Ever. We have shortages. Unfortunately, law enforcement has taken a bad rap the last couple of years. Yes, there's a few bad apples, but that does not define them all, and they all do a fantastic job for us. They are the ones who run to trouble when we run away from it. They're the ones that we call to get things fixed and to keep us safe, and they've done a wonderful job with that. I want to give a shout out to our true heroes, the San Diego County Sheriff's Department. Give them a hand. Oceanside Police Department. I got a few. Escondido Police Department. Carlsbad Police Department. Our Probation Department, our DA investigators. And the always handsome Fire Department. Cal Fire is in the house, and some of our fire districts are also represented here today. So, So we have been extremely fortunate in the last couple of years. And we haven't had a wildfire. We haven't had a big one. They're out there. They're waiting for us. But this is a testament, I think, to our firefighters and what they have done and what they've done to keep us safe. The risk of wildfire in North County is constant. It never goes away. So we continue to push to make improvements. My office, we've worked on trying to get the evacuation routes, trying to get more clearing on evacuation routes in place. We've also, the fire departments I know are always working on putting in new fire prevention strategies, building materials and things like that, and what we can do to keep people safe. We've enhanced the vegetation management. We've added new helicopters. There's actually now, when there's a high-risk fire day, helicopters are pre-stationed in the county to put out fires. We've improved pre-fire emergency planning with a much greater emphasis, not just on the firefighting itself, but on technology, communications, and training. We know the risks. We learn from each fire. We plan, we improve, we allocate resources, we train. We're ready, but there's going to be another one coming, and know that we've got the best teams on it. So thank you, CAL FIRE, and thank you to all of our firefighters. So everybody, anybody want to talk COVID? Nah, me neither. But anyway, everybody went above and beyond during COVID, and nobody had all the right answers. From the president, Fauci, all the way on down. Nobody had all the right answers. We did the best we could. I think we did as best we could and tried to get common sense and interject in there. But everybody stood up and did a great job. Our law enforcement, our county staff, and firefighters are no exception. They took testing, mobile, We had vaccinations. They took it out to the communities, particularly in the unincorporated areas, through an effort called Operation Collaboration. Actually, I got a shot. One of my vaccines was from a National Guards person as well. But Health and Human Services and our fire departments throughout San Diego County came forward to administer more than 60,000 vaccination doses and to administer over 89,000 COVID-19 tests. These are your firefighters and service members out there doing good for us, mobilizing in a moment's notice and keeping us safe. Also want to recognize another dynamic duo here today in North County. This is led by San Marcos Councilmember Maria Nunez and her sister Arcela Nunez Alvarez. Where are you, Maria and Arcela? Where are you? There we are. You got to get here early to get a seat in the back, huh? All right. But thanks for being. What they did, Universidad Popular, these two, and they had some help, but they continue to perform much-needed outreach to North County's Hispanic population. They were great partners in helping to get hesitant members of the community. Weren't quite sure if they wanted to get that vaccine. But they went out, they knocked on doors, they get members of the community, they got them in, they got them the vaccination, and got them their shot. So Maria and Arcela, thank you very much for your efforts today. Okay, here's kind of I don't know. There's another downer here. But I am pleased to say that in my time as San Diego County Supervisor, we have successfully defeated every proposed placement of a sexually violent predator in North County. It's crazy. The state lets these people out and they want to put them in our communities. On a golf course too. On the golf course, they were going to put them. And these sexually violent predators, they did their time, but they're not cured. They are not cured, and they do not belong in our neighborhoods. They do not belong in our communities. And I was able to put forward an agenda item with the Board of Supervisors and went unanimously that we are not going to accept any sexually violent predators in San Diego County unless we have a say and we have veto power to keep these people out of our neighborhoods. Yeah. Thank you. And the community came together. It just wasn't me in my office. The community was at my door in this effort to try to keep these people, out. And maybe our community members and our tribal nations. Okay, and I'm going to go off script here again. All right, I see Darren in the back shaking his head. It's my chief of staff. Anyway, the tribal members. One of the tribal chairman said to me, "It's like, look, you white guy, you stick us out here in the unincorporated areas. You stick us out here in the lands that aren't all that fertile, all that great. And then you want to put your sexually violent predators out next door to us. No way, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that to our tribal members. We don't want to do it to ourselves or our tribal members." So that was just kind of the thing that kind of lit the fire underneath me and said, okay, we cannot be doing this to our tribal neighbors. And so, anyway, all right, I'll get off the sexually violent predators. But one of the best parts about being a county supervisor, besides standing up here and getting to talk with you, is meeting all the various groups of people throughout North County. Meeting with you and all the organizations that are doing good things that I wasn't always aware of, and all the great things that people here in North County do. And the tribes, are once again, are very good neighbors. They come to the top of the list, as I said earlier, is being good neighbors and being friends with us in North County. They're casinos, they're hotels, they're firefighters. They have their own firefighters. They have the ambulance services that they share as well. And all their commercial endeavors are an economic engine for us all, particularly in the unincorporated areas. They've created over 10,000 jobs, resulting in a $1 billion industry for us in North County. So I know we have a little video. Can we get the sound up?
It's at least 10,000 jobs. The Los Angeles people do. We protect what we have. We protect our sovereignty. By protecting our sovereignty, we can protect our people. Rincon was the first tribe to have gaming. Our tax base is affect the gaming operation and the proceeds that we make there. Our people benefited, we're up out of poverty. Local surrounding communities have benefited, they get additional services that we never had. We were given a chance to pay them back.
Rincon is just not only a local community leader, but a state and national leader. And I want to continue to see our economic success continue to grow. You know, when Rincon wins, everybody wins.
We have a lot going for us. We're in a good place to progress and move forward. The sky's the limit.
All right, thanks. So in addition to helping our tribes and being good neighbors, we created a county tribal liaison position to interface with the tribes directly with the county staff to strengthen our relationships. And while we can't rectify the past, we can focus on the future. And it's a new day at the county when we recognize our tribal governments as equal, as good, and the good neighbors that they are, and that we should be. So there's another very special place in North County as well, another great place of healing. It's a place that serves our region's foster kids, with a great many supporters and educators that care deeply about them. And I'm talking about Squall Academy. Yes, Squall. If you're not familiar with this, it's a beautiful campus. It's out there by the Safari Park out to the 78. And it's a beautiful campus that houses foster kids. And these are the kids that are, most of them are teenagers. They're kind of hard to place. They got brothers and sisters. But this is a place where they can feel like family, feel like a home. And this campus here, foster care is not a one-size-fits-all. Not one family or one entity is going to help a foster kid. So we have to have many tools in the toolbox, and this is a great one. Due to state law passed in 2015, the future of Squall Academy was in doubt. We thought it was going to have to close. But thankfully, last December, a Superior Court judge issued a preliminary injunction preventing the state from terminating the license for the school. So last month, the Board of Supervisors unanimously agreed to continue running the academy as an educational campus and a home to develop programs for foster children in need. So that's a great thing. So, as I said, it's not just government, it's not just me in my office, it's everybody here in the room. There's many North County nonprofit organizations that serve our region, especially those serving the underserved and those in need. And government can't and shouldn't take care of everything. There's a great many volunteer organizations that do good things. And my office has been able to assist them in serving the North County residents, including we have the Boys and Girls Clubs. I know there's Boys and Girls Club members here, Boys and Girls Clubs in North County, economic development organizations, chambers of commerce, museums, educational safety foundations, tourism in North County, food pantries, and food banks. And over the past 3 years, my office, we've directed over $25 million in grants, it's your tax dollars, in the form of small business grants and stimuluses to these nonprofits to keep them going during COVID. And all the volunteers, I want to acknowledge all the volunteers who stand up and work for these entities that do great things. As I've been mayor and been engaged in politics and things like that, people have asked me, I go and talk to classrooms and kids and stuff like that. They say, well, how do you get to be the mayor? How do you get to be in government? And I tell them, you start volunteering. You start volunteering, and the more you volunteer, the more responsibility people will give you. So be careful. If you're out there volunteering, you might end up here someday. But in another very worthy effort of your tax dollars recently we've been spending is on children. We spent a lot, our children, kind of been left behind here during COVID, as the coach was talking about, and some of the interactions and activities at school. But right now, the children are suffering under the wrath of fentanyl. Fentanyl is this poison that's being put into recreational drugs, and it's killing our kids. It's the #1 killer of people 18 to 45 years old. #1 is fentanyl. It's these 3 little granules of fentanyl in whatever drug you might be using or taking, and it'll kill you. And it's, like I said, it's a #1 killer. So the wrath of fentanyl, and the other thing is drowning prevention. We live in we show all the great pictures of the sea, of the ocean and things like that. We got many pools and things like that here in San Diego County and North County. So we focus on drowning prevention. I mean, it's 100% preventable. We put together a program where regardless of income, and especially those in the underserved communities that our kids don't learn to swim, we teach them how to be water safe And drowning, like I said, is 100% preventable, and we created this opportunity to help save lives and protect our kids. So thank you. All right, I have a rant. Here we go. My Sandag rant. There's North County, Sandag has not been good to us. They have not kept their promises. Sandag has been too many broken promises, and they want too many taxes from us. And unfortunately, our money goes to some San Diego project and doesn't come back up to North County. They're doing it again. They're coming to you for another sales tax, including a mileage tax. So don't give Sandag any more of North County's money until they fulfill the promises of the past. You are paying right now, since 2008, and every purchase you make, every purchase you make, 0.5 cent of your sales tax goes to Sandag for transportation projects. They promised us at the last time around that we were going to get an HOV lane in each direction on the 78. Anybody seen that yet? No, me neither. You're paying for it. And also the I-5 and the I-5 and 78 interchange, where there's a stoplight in Oceanside, and the 15 and 78 interchange. All of those were supposed to be fixed and promised to be fixed. You're going to pay, and now their new big bold ideas, they're saying, we're not going to do that now. They'll give us more money. So, we need a good transportation system. We need some mass transit, not necessarily all of it up here, but we need roads, we need infrastructure. We need those types of things in North County, and unfortunately, like I said, we're not getting the short end of the stick. We're not getting the stick at all. So we want to make sure that, make our voices heard, not another penny to an organization that breaks our promises to us and asks us for money. We're not going to put up with that. We want our resources up here, and I'm going to continue fighting for that. Okay, just a couple more things. Housing. We don't have enough of it. We don't have enough of housing, and unfortunately, government can't get out of its own way. Most of the state keeps putting more and more regulations on housing. And we keep making housing more and more expensive, which drives our workforce to Riverside, to Imperial, and to Tijuana. We're pushing our workforce further and further away. And then we complain about greenhouse gases, and then the people are driving, and Sandag wants to tax us out of our cars. It's like, well, we keep pushing everybody further and further out. So I think there's too much senseless government regulation when it comes to housing. I got mine, next generation, see you later, too bad. We can't have that attitude. We got to build them, we got to prepare, we got to look at the future for the next generation. Somehow we got to get housing. I know nobody wants it next to them, but we need it in San Diego County, otherwise it's going to be untenable. If we start losing our jobs, if they start leaving, we're in a world of hurt. So we got to make sure we keep that housing. So I don't have to tell you about inflation or anything like that. Cost of fuel, $80 to fill up my car the other day. One of the things I did put forward to try to curb costs at the county, Supervisor Anderson and myself put forward to suspend the gas tax for a year. 51 cents, and I've heard it's from 51 cents all the way up to like $1.20 or something, the amount of fees that you actually pay per gallon on every gallon of tax. We sent a letter to the governor saying, hey, can you do this? Can you suspend the gas tax? And we voted in favor of, rebates as well. Well, the governor went with the rebates, but I think, everybody, I guess, if you have a car, you're going to get $400. Even if you drive a Tesla and you don't use fuel or gas, you're going to get a rebate as well, which is just crazy. So anyway, but I know that's some of the challenges going forward. COVID, hopefully, is in the rearview mirror. And I want to thank all the incredible nurses and doctors and everybody who helped us through COVID and worked tirelessly. Dr. Root and Dr. McDonald, all the great people at the county who did the best they could to try to keep us safe during the pandemic. So as we move forward, I think we got to take a moment to reflect on what we've learned, what the coach had said. Let's continue to be curious and question authority, but let's put down our differences. Let's start the debate in a civil manner, and let's treat everyone and each other with respect going forward. We have one more video to show you, and as I mentioned earlier, as on veterans. Veterans are an integral part of North County, and in North County we have a very special veteran we want to highlight today. So we have our video for our veteran.
A cake like this would be music to anyone. Happy 102nd birthday. It's not often you
question. I don't know.
Started playing piano at the Peking Walk at 76 years old. He's now turning 102.
Why did I so often? I didn't get fired.
After joining the Army and fighting in World War II, Bob became a music teacher. Rosa was his choir student.
Oh, hi, Rosa. Don't blame Bob.
In 1974.
Everybody knows him. Yeah, he's an icon.
Mr. Roberts was the band director at Fallbrook High from 1956 to 1979.
You're only halfway, Jim.
Reaching 102, and he's come up and say hello to him after the event here. He's got a beautiful piano tie on. Thank you, bud, for your service and for being a veteran and still serving the community with your piano. Thank you. All right. Okay, we're gonna land this baby. Gears down, flaps are out. Here we go. So, I just want to kind of wrap it up with North County. We started with how much potential we have. All the great resources that we have here in North County and how wonderful it is. And how there are many, it's due to everybody here in this room. All the people here that make it great. It's your time, your effort, and your willingness. None of this could be possible without the community and your work. You're working on with the nonprofits, our chambers of commerce, and our businesses and our volunteers, our sheriffs, our law enforcement, our firefighters, all the people that work at the county, all the people that are pulling together to make and keep North County great. The unincorporated areas, the tribes, everything. You're the engine that makes the county run. It isn't me, you are. I'm just a small part. I try to connect the dots, try to get you the resources based on your priorities. I try to listen, engage, and help. But know that I will always be a voice and fight for our fair share in North County when it comes to resources, dollars, and especially when it comes to roads and infrastructure, business, and education. And I know I'm very proud to work for you, proud to be a part of this region, and I'm going to continue fighting for North County. Thank you. Should we keep Miles?
Give it another week.
Thank you guys for being here so much. Feel free to mingle. I don't know if there's food still out there. Thank you again.